Hey Mike, you gonna be a butthole this weekend or are you gonna let me drink? Butthole? Hell, I don't care if you drink. Just don't go crazy on us. Or tell mom and dad I let you. No problem, I can handle that. Yeah, famous last words. Hello, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by, coming at you for basically a movie/DVD review of, I actually already reviewed this movie. As a matter of fact, I think I reviewed it in 2014. As a matter of fact, I reviewed it while I was sitting in a lake, probably the only review on YouTube of this movie. To actually review it sitting in a lake, but since this DVD recently came out of it, something none of us expected, I figured I'd just do another review of it and also review the recently released DVD. I'm coming at you to review the movie and DVD, recently released DVD, of the late 80s shot-on-video classic, Blood Lake. This is a movie that I first saw, I think it was either 2000 or 2001, rented it obviously on VHS from a mom and pop video store at the time, and I was absolutely just blown away. Actually, we had no idea that it was a shot on video movie. This I actually got subsequently on eBay, so this is the original Blood Lake VHS from United Entertainment, dated copyright 1988. So you wouldn't really necessarily know, looking on the back here. I mean, it's like screenshots from the movie, I guess, so it should be a little bit of should be a tell, but we didn't know based on those pictures or those images that this was in fact a shot on video production. And I really didn't, I think at this time in my life I didn't necessarily even know that they did these outside of the adult film genre, but alas they did. There was kind of a exploding of shot on video horror movies in the mid to late 80s, and I think this is the very first one I saw, and I'd subsequently of course seen and owned more of these things, and they're kind of fun. But at the time, not knowing that these really existed, I was like, oh my gosh, and it instantly became kind of just an in-joke to us who saw it and knew about it and stuff, and just I mean, it was really just kind of fun. And my dad saw part of it at the beginning, and he was just like, just laughing at the frickin' acting and just the goofy, just shot on video look. Basically, this was shot on 3/4 inch tape. I don't know if that would have been Betacam at the time. Probably. They rented this equipment. The budget of this movie is said to have been somewhere around $6,000, $3,000 for shooting it, $3,000 for post-production. So this was you know, a very, very low budget production. As a matter of fact, when I heard that the whole thing cost $6,000, I was like, oh God, I never would have imagined this thing, they would have spent that much money on it. But I guess, to be fair, the equipment at the time was probably relatively, I mean, it was probably, you know, the highest quality, you know, video. I think it was probably the same thing that, you know, TV stations and news stations and stuff were probably using at the time. So in the late 80s, the equipment that they were shooting and cutting with and stuff was probably some of the best that they had available to them outside of film. So whatever, I guess maybe the cost isn't that, whatever, so that's what it costs. But basically the whole story of this movie is kind of interesting. It takes place, I can never remember where the hell it takes place, somewhere south. Some of these people have accents and stuff, but basically it's just this Trans Am load of, I think, 6 people. And it's so funny to see a Trans Am pulling a boat, but this Trans Am load of 6 people, and they crammed, I don't know how they crammed, I think it's movie magic, they crammed these 6 people into this Trans Am. They basically taken this boat, it's like a weekend excursion with these 6 friends, 2 guys, and, well, no, it's 3 guys and 3 girls, and 2 of which are like, you know, 13, 14 age, you know, little Tony, I think, is the brother, little brother of this Mike, the main character, who is also, what the hell's his name? Yeah, Doug Barry is the quote-unquote star of this movie, and either I think he's also the main, if not the only writer, the main writer of this movie as well. So basically 3 couples, basically, you know, you've got 2 couples that are presumably 20-somethings or whatever, and this other couple that are like, you know, 13 or 14 or whatever, and I'm not exactly sure the dynamic. Like, I don't, this girl, you know, this little Tony, the little brother of Mike, is just this foul-mouthed little asshole, which is like a lot of teenage boys are and stuff, and I don't understand, you know, he's always kind of just picking on this girl or whatever, and I don't quite understand who she is and why she's with, to be honest. She doesn't seem to really like this kid that's her age. So I don't know. I mean, she's not a sister. They don't explain who the hell this girl is, and little Tony's always like saying, you know, oh, I'm gonna. Speaking of tonight, I can't wait till tonight. I get to sleep with Susan. You know, like just all this sexual innuendo and all this stuff in regards to this, you know, this teenage girl that's up there. So I don't know who the hell would let their teenage daughter go up there with this, you know, this sex-starved, you know, just asshole Tony kid or whatever. But regardless, that's beside the point. Basically, the scenario is very simple. Just let's go up to the lake for a fun weekend or whatever. Oh, it should be said that the very beginning of this movie is one of the most laughable beginnings in movie history, where it's just this gardener guy who's just cutting these, you know, whatever, these bushes with these hedge clippers, and it's just like this fat guy with you know, cowboy boots, and one of the pant legs is out of the boot and one of the pant legs is over it. Well, it goes up to this guy, and it's shot in a way where we don't really see this fat killer guy's face, and it's just like the fat killer guy's like, I can't take it no more. And the guard is like, hey, what? I don't know anything about it, I just work here. And the killer's like, that's good enough for me. And he takes a knife and just, and it's just the most absolutely creative kill that you're ever going to see. And that is just so ridiculous, and the dialogue and the delivery of it is so just ridiculous. The movie starts, you know, within the first minute, you know what you're in for by the way it starts, and then it starts into the opening credits, just kind of music montage as they're driving to the lake. And I will say that the idea of having the opening credits, you know, taking place over the montage of them driving to the location is a kind of a cool idea, and you know, it is executed relatively decently, much better than the opening, you know, kill of the movie. But so then they all arrive there, and it's actually, what's interesting, having, you know, listened to the commentary and some of the behind the scenes or whatever, actually there's commentary and then there's the Q&A bit. A lot of the stuff is the same information recycled. Basically, the location that the lake house, the location that they filmed this movie at was basically, I think, the parents of this woman is it Angela Darder. I think it's her parents' place that they're actually filming at, and one of the clauses or one of the requirements by the Darder family for them filming there is actually that Angela is in the movie. I never knew that, of course. Why would I, until I listened to the commentary? And I gotta say, it's funny for Angela Darder, you know, they should be glad that they have her in the movie, because she's one of the best, if not the best performer in the movie. She's actually got, you know, some of the best, if not the best acting chops in this whole production. So they should, I hope they looked on it as not being like, oh damn, we have to have this girl, this woman in the movie, because, you know, in order to film here. They should have been like, oh wow, you know, it's just like, it's a twofer. We get this, you know, this lake house location, and we also get the best actress or the best actor performer in the movie. So it was like a twofer. So hopefully they were grateful about that eventuality. But what ends up happening, of course, is this is just the movie of the whole movie's kind of filler, and they had to, you know, do the 80-minute mark or whatever for feature length running time. And I do want to say that this thing at the end of the day is what? 82 minutes, so I mean, it just barely makes the feature-length running time. It should be said that I wouldn't say the majority, but maybe, I don't know, maybe half, or maybe about half of the movie, or maybe even more than half of the movie is kind of just filler, with a scene of drinking and quarters game just lasting seemingly an eternity. It does seem like it lasts at least 10 minutes. It's probably not 10 minutes long, but then again, maybe it is. This movie is just an absolute hoot, and it's just these people driving up to this, you know, lake house for just a relaxing vacation. But little do they know, this basically fattish kind of guy who's lurking around, who are just killing people at this location. And what I didn't say, because I didn't remember it. What I didn't say in my first review of Blood Lake, while I was actually reviewing the movie while sitting in a lake, what I didn't say at that time was, at that time I didn't remember why this killer was killing. And the reason why, I'll just spoil it for you guys, the reason why this killer is killing is because I guess he sold, in the movie, this character sold her family, like, you know, the family of the place that owns and, you know, is now staying at the lake house. He sold them the property, and they never paid him or some crap, which I don't even see how could even really happen, you know, if you're selling a house, I mean, whatever. Maybe it can happen, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. But that's the reason why the killer's killing, and it's really, I mean, he's got a fair reason for, I wouldn't recommend, I'm not saying if you sell something to someone and they don't pay you, I'm not saying start killing everyone, but that's the reason in this movie why the killer is killing. And what's so funny is none of these people, I mean, except for, I mean, have anything to do with the cheating family, except for, I mean, the girl is the only one who's really related to the cheating family, and even then, I mean, she didn't probably screw them, her parents screwed them, so whatever. But this movie is just basically, you know, non-stop water skiing, non-stop games of drinking game like quarters, and just non-stop hilarity, basically. It's 82 minutes of absolute hilarity, and it's one of these movies that is so bad it's absolutely masterful. I don't want to build it up too much. It's one of these things that I think just gets more and more charming as the years goes on, because as the years go on, it's just like, you know, now this movie is what, like 32 years old or something like that. I mean, you know, as each year passes, it just becomes more and more charming, because it's like, oh man, this is authentic 1987 summer, and it's just like, oh man, just the music, kind of the metal music, and the fashions and stuff are so fun and hilarious, and the Trans Am and everything like that is fun. And these guys, in order to have some more body count, these people hook up with these two other guys that just show up. Or one of these guys has shorts on and suspenders, and it's just like, oh my god, he kind of looks like Dolph Lundgren might have looked as a teenager or something, one of these guys. But they show up for, you know, water skiing, of course, and they also join the adults in the game of quarters and stuff, and it's just like, oh my gosh. So of course these two guys that just show up and they meet to, you know, to have water skiing and for playing quarters and stuff are mostly just extra bodies to kill. You know, so they have some, I don't remember exactly what the kill count is in this movie. You've got the gardener at the beginning of the movie, then these two guys. That might be, oh, never mind. And then the other 20-something guy and girl that come up in the Trans Am also die as well. So you've basically got, like, you know, more or less 4 on-screen kills, and the first kill being not really on screen. And what's funny is, what's really surprising is, and it's kind of like, oh my gosh, at the very end of the movie, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this movie goes there. They actually, you know, the girlfriend of Angela Darder, who's the woman who plays the, you know, the lead's girlfriend in the movie, gets stabbed like in the stomach. And you're just like, oh wow, you know, that's like one of the only serious things in the movie that's just like, oh wow, I didn't see that happening. So we don't, you know, she gets, you know, hauled away in an ambulance. I don't know if we're meant to assume that she lives or whatever, but with being, you know, you never know what, if being stabbed in the stomach could go either way. So that's one actually thing about this movie. It's all, you know, although this whole movie's kind of stupid, it's kind of a haunting ending in that way, because it's like, gosh, we never know if this, not that it matters because it's a non-existent character, but we never know if this character of the girlfriend, you know, the girlfriend of the main character guy, you know, if she's supposed to live or not or whatever. So it's kind of an unsettling way to end this movie. And basically after they filmed the movie, in I think August of probably 87 or 86 or whenever the hell they filmed it, or videoed it, basically in the fall or something like that, or in the winter, then this whole lake dried up. And at the end of the movie, I don't know if they went and rented the equipment again for this one day of shooting, but they see this ghost apparition of the killer who disappears, who, by the way, is stabbed several times by our main, whatever the hell his name is, the hero of this movie, Doug Barry. And they go off with his girlfriend and stuff in the ambulance, and that one guy comes back only to see the body gone. So we don't know if the killer's, you know, obviously the killer's alive or whatever. And during this little montage of the dried up lake and stuff, the seemingly ghost just materializes out of the shed. That's kind of where he lives or whatever. Comes onto the edge of the dock, which is just now on the ground because there's no water to support it, and he's just like looking around. There's this really lame, fun, kind of lame and cool at the same time metal song playing. And so they just do all these shots. They're trying to cover the fact that the lake is completely dried up as well as they can, and it's just like, and then you've got a credit that says dry lake effect, an act of God, and in the commentary and Q&A and stuff, he's like, yeah, that cost a lot of money because God's not cheap or whatever. And it's just like, ha ha. So that's pretty much my review of Blood Lake. As I said, I'm pretty sure, well, I know that I reviewed this already. I'm pretty sure it was 2014 when I already reviewed it. don't get me wrong, it's not like, you know, it's a horrible like acting, and mostly in you know, a lot of cases, like the romantic boat ride with the two 20-somethings that came up in the Trans Am who end up getting killed. I mean, the boat ride is in the dark, and it's like you can't even barely see it, even on this pristine new DVD version. I mean, if you like just so bad it's good kind of movies, I would say that this is definitely one of, you know, one of the greater so bad it's good, you know, horror movies from the 80s shot on video. And now that it's actually got an official, this is the, you know, from what I know, this is the first, or this, you know, the second, you know, how can I word this? The first official release since the VHS that came out in '87. And as far as I know, this came out just in like April 9th or something like that, and I was on Amazon just looking around, and like all of a sudden, you know how they have like, based on what you look at or whatever, they've got recommendations, and I see Blood Lake DVD, and I'm just like, what? Blood Lake DVD, and just days, you know, before I saw the Amazon thing, I was just like, clicked it, I'm like, holy crap, so this Blood Lake DVD is put out by, you know, what is this? The American Genre Film Archive and Bleeding Skull. And as I said, I think it just came out on April 9th, an official DVD of Blood Lake. And as always, I'll put a shot of the back of the box so you can see the special features. Obviously, this was shot on 3/4 inch tape and mastered on, you know, 1-inch master tape, and edited on 1-inch tape. So your special features are transferred from the original 1-inch master tape of, you know, owned by Doug Barry. Commentary track with director Tim Boggs, and Bleeding Skulls Annie Choi and Joseph Ziemba. I will say that the commentary, you know, the director is interesting to listen to. He's really energetic and stuff, but the woman, you know, whatever the hell her name is, Annie Choi, is really kind of annoying. I could have done without her and just had like Tim Boggs and Joseph Ziemba or whatever. Fantastic Fest screening Q&A with director Tim Boggs and producer star Doug Barry. It was really fun to be able to see and hear from Doug Barry in the Q&A. I would have preferred that, you know, they ditched Annie Choi and had Doug Barry for the commentary. It's really kind of a bummer that we couldn't spend the commentary with him, seeing as how he's like the main star and the writer of it. I'm really, you know, in a perfect world, I would have liked to have had him in the commentary along with the director. But whatever, but at least we get to see him in the Q&A. It should be said the Q&A, I want to say, is like in total like 20 minutes or maybe 22 or 21 or something like that. But be warned, the first like 5 minutes of it is just this lame intro with, you know, this Joe and Annie, just, you know, oh my God. And I hope that thing she says about what she say, the toxic masculinity, I hope that was just a joke, because oh man, give me a break. So just be warned, the Q&A doesn't just start right away. It's like 5 minutes or more of them just like geeking out about Blood Lake and introducing, I think they're basically introducing these, you know, the director and the Doug guy, and then before the movie starts, and then it fades away, and then it cuts to like after the movie for the Q&A or whatever. Should be said that I was really surprised that Doug Barry kind of looked nervous there up on stage, and I thought he would have been a little more, the way he's presented in the movie is just so, you know, hip and cool and suave or whatever. I was surprised how nervous Doug Barry looked in front of the audience, but whatever, I mean, each person's got their own whatever. So, and you've got also included on this release is Ashes, a short film directed by Tim Boggs, and I should have watched that before I did this review so I could comment on it, but I didn't watch that. And an unseen 1987 investor trailer, which is kind of fun. So you also got a little notice here. Blood Lake was shot on 3/4 inch tape and edited on 1-inch tape. This transfer is taken from the original 1-inch master. It says tapes when I think they meant to just say tape. Obviously, I'm really glad, because on Amazon it said widescreen, and I'm like, no, what? It can't be widescreen, but that's incorrect. It has actually 1:3:3 aspect ratio, which is the original aspect ratio, you know, that it was shot in and stuff. Obviously, for non-widescreen TVs in the 80s and stuff. So don't be fooled by Amazon's incorrect listing if it's still incorrect at the time of this viewing this video. It does look like, for the first time I'm seeing this, it does look like it's an all-region DVD, which is another bonus, obviously, for everyone in the world. I really love their use of the inside. Here's the inside, but let me just remove the disc and then I'll show you the entire picture. But I love that picture of good old, what the hell's his name, Doug Barry, you know, at the time of production and or release of Blood Lake with the original Blood Lake cover art there, and it looks like he's in a studio or something like that. That's really a cool kind of a picture to include inside there. So there you have it, my review of Blood Lake and the recently released DVD. If you've got, and what's really cool about this being on DVD is that it's only like, I don't know, $12 or $13 or $13.99 or something like that. So it's not very expensive because it is on DVD, and it's just like, oh my God, when I saw this, it was like a double, triple, quadruple take. I was like, an official DVD release of Blood Lake. That is absolutely amazing, something I never thought would happen, but finally, you know, this relatively obscure, impossible to get movie is now in this best version, you know, it's ever going to be in. And I will say, for the most part, the sound and the image quality is good. The one thing I will mention about this DVD is, like, during the quarters game, there was just a little bit of fuzz. So somewhere during that 20-minute scene, that's a joke, there was a little bit of fuzz, but that's okay. That's the only bit of fuzz. Another thing I want to mention is, it seems like during a dialogue scene there was a glitch, and I don't know if that's a layer change, and if it is a layer change, I don't know why they decide to put one like right in the middle of a conversation. I rewound it and it happened again, so I'm assuming that's a layer change or something like that, either that or just a glitch in the DVD, but there's like a glitch there, which I'm assuming is a layer change, and if it is, probably shouldn't, ideally you don't want to put one during a conversation, or it might even be while someone's talking, I can't remember. But those are the things that I noticed about actually watching this movie. As I said, I already commented on the commentary, so I guess that'll pretty much do it for my review of Blood Lake movie, Blood Lake DVD. And before I end, I do want to say that before this DVD came out just recently, I did own this on DVD, and it was on my own DVD that I made, basically just putting my VHS onto DVD. I wanted to have it in a digital format, so if I wanted to watch it on a portable DVD player, or just without, you know, dragging out or turning on the VCR, I could do it. So this is my DVD of Blood Lake I did. I'm not exactly sure when I put it on DVD, but this is, should be said that this is my cover, and it's got the famous, "I can't take anymore, I just work here, that's good enough for me." And it should be said that I drew this just by memory, that's why it's so horrible, but this is the scene, my comic version of the scene from the opening scene from the movie. You can see there I got his boot correct. I don't know if I got the correct leg correct, but at least I got, you know, his basic look okay. And then very expertly with red marker I put Blood Lake on the side there, and I actually like this picture more than the picture. I drew this from the back of the VHS. It's got this dead kid hanging off the tree, so I actually like this picture, this drawing better. But that's the back of my Blood Lake DVD artwork, and I don't think it's rated at all, but I just put an R down there. So this is my DVD that I made of Blood Lake years and years ago, possibly, pardon me, I don't know when. So it's got no inside picture of Doug Barry in the studio. However, unfortunately, you had to wait for the original DVD release for that. So thank you very much for watching my review of Blood Lake and its recently released DVD. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you think about this movie, or what you think about its finally being officially released on DVD. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, we'll catch you on the next movie review. Hey man, how's the fishing, man? I'm gonna tear old Beck up. Then his little brother's like, should probably tear you up. Yeah, I don't think so, little brother. You gonna be a butthole this weekend or not? Hey Mike, you gonna be a butthole this weekend, or you gonna let me drink? I don't, but shit. Hey Mike, you gonna let me be a you gonna be a butthole this weekend, or you now? Shit.